how strong is their bite, we will know after 90 minutes. It was a cagey Tunisian side, it must be said, throughout the qualifiers. They were very disciplined, very defensive at times when they needed to be. They got a wonderful draw away in Dakar, for example, in the qualifiers against Senegal, with a superb display of defensive football. It wasn't pretty to watch, but you had to admire, after sitting there through 60-70 minutes of really dull football with very little action, just how solid the Tunisians were, what good spoilers they were, and they'd set out to get a point in Dakar, and that's exactly what they achieved. We expect that they'll be a little cagey tonight as well coming into this game, but they'll want all 3 points against the Cape Verdeans. So Maklawi with the first foul of the night on Kuka. And around about this time that Zambia banged in the first goal of this group in the earlier match here at Estadio Ibebin. Let's see if Cape Verde can do much the same. Lots of jostling, lots of shouting. And in comes the free kick, and a free header against the upright. How close was that? Tunisia breathe a huge sigh of relief as the header from the big centre-back, Fernando Varela, goes against the upright. He was the man who was supposed to be suspended for the game against Tunisia. He would have really felt that he'd perhaps let his teammates down by playing in that match against Tunisia that led to Cape Verde's disqualification, and how he would have wished to have scored there. So just on a minute and a half, and Cape Verde brush the woodwork of Tunisia. Very clever header from Varela away from the action. Lots of power as well, but the full force of the ball onto the woodwork, onto the upright, and so no goal. Now Giannini held on. Kuka waiting in the middle, the lone striker. He gets behind the defense, off the chest, and easily picked up by Maklawi. It's a nervous-looking Tunisia, it must be said, here in these early stages. Well, they've been sensational in the way they've played in the last 2 or 3 years. The elimination of Cameroon really began the fairy tale story for Cape Verde Islands. You'll remember against South Africa in the opening game in Johannesburg of the last tournament, how they forced a draw there and rather embarrassed the host nation, and then overcoming Angola and Morocco to get into the quarterfinals of the 2013 tournament. They lost to Ghana, but certainly were not disgraced on that occasion. Well, rather excited to see what they can achieve here tonight as well. It's the smallest country ever to qualify for the Nations Cup. Their population is just over 500,000. It's a lot smaller than Equatorial Guinea, but he has a chance for Tunisia. Sai with a good square ball there. No one though to pick up on the opportunity. Cape Verde, though, has a history of exporting people over the last century or so. And they say there are more Cape Verdeans or people of Cape Verdean descent on the eastern coast of America, around the Boston area, than there are in the islands themselves. It's probably true of the Cape Verdean population in Portugal as well, and it's from the diaspora that a lot of these players are drawn. There's several Portuguese-born players in this team. There's several players born in the Cape Verde but who grew up in Portugal, also coming back to serve the fatherland. So foul on Giannini. Now Kuka out wide. Clearance from Maklawi. It will be Natar in the middle of the pitch, and down he goes. One of the French-born players in this Tunisian side, Stéphane Natar. Now playing in Tunisia for Club Africana. Forward goes Natar again. Shikawi out wide. He plays, despite his height and his strength, just behind the strikers. He looks like a classical centre forward. From Bizerte in the north of Tunisia to take the throw in. This club had a surprising resurgence over the last couple of years. They'll be competing in the African club competition in 2015. And there's Shikawi. Has had his injury problems over the years, missed the World Cup for Tunisia last time that they qualified. And he could have made it to 5 Nations Cups by now, but is only playing in his third because of injury as well. Bozinia tempting fate perhaps a little there on the edge of the area. Ruyagash. Well, he was in there, no problem. I saw there for a moment the eyes of Akaishi leading the Tunisian attack as he thought for a second or two that perhaps the goalkeeper had been caught outside of his penalty area and that they were on for a free kick. Then realised he hadn't. Now another opportunity. Cover defence provided by Gege. As a long CV, well-travelled coach, worked mainly in Belgium, of course, with a little spell in Holland with Rode Kerkrade, and he's been in the Middle East with Ittihad in Saudi Arabia. Kazri takes the corner. Header away from Giannini, a long-range effort over the top. And no real problem as Sahi from Montpellier in France does not trouble the opposing defence. Stop it out. The left back. There's the number 2 jersey, normally reserved for right backs. Looks to be in a bit of trouble, but up and about now, ready to continue. It's a player once from the books of Deportivo La Coruña, the club in Spain, who perhaps have passed their better years. They've never made it into the first team. Now playing in Hungary. Matlawi clears again. Up for Shikawi. Gets the header. Actually looking to chase on. The last touch comes off. Stop it up. It's been given Cape Verde Islands way. Big stage for the coach. He's never handled a game of this magnitude in a competition of this nature. George Lakens went to the World Cup with Belgium. So the Tunisians certainly have a bit more experience on their bench. Now Giannini. Kuka. He's been given Cape Verde's way. Stopera will take it. Finds his way blocked. Now, who had the last touch there? It came off Fernando Varela. Now, it's been a busy last 2 weeks for Ahmed Akaishi. He's only just been brought into the squad after the injury to Fakhreddin Ben Youssef, the Esperance player, who's also had a stint in the second division in Germany. There he is, wearing jersey number 19. Is must be said, a surprise inclusion in the starting lineup, considering he wasn't in the squad days ago. That's all part of the tactics from the coach here today. Another new face for Tunisia, Monser, who didn't compete in any of the qualifying matches, but made a strong impression with Sfaxien. It's Captain Babanko who is down at the moment. Got caught there by Monser. qualifying competition for the Cape Verde Islands and their coach. Moving the final game against Zambia. Correction to that, sorry, they also lost in Maputo against Mozambique, but success in the other matches ensured that they qualified very comfortably at the top of their group for this tournament. Tunisia unbeaten. Did sneak a victory against Senegal in the very last minute. In fact, it was about 7 minutes into stoppage time when Fajani got the winner. He's on the bench for today's encounter. Slow progress down that right-hand side for the Tunisians. Akaishi moving into forward position. So is Shikawi using his head as well, trying to chest it off. This might be a chance. From just outside the box. Is well wide of Vozinha's goal. The big presence of Shikawi that set it up. Fairly disappointing effort from Khazri. Now Abdennour underneath that for the Tunisians. Pressure on the midfield, and particularly Nuno Rocha. Another of the new faces in the side. The player plays his club football at the moment in Romania. I'm sure the temperatures there are nothing like the 28 degrees at the moment here in Ebebin. Matraoui down the flank. Now is there someone in the middle? It's really overcooked by Akaishi. There was a good little run towards the back post from Khazri. But Akaishi from Esperance put far too much into that effort, and well over the top it went. Giannini plays his club football in Mexico. Not the first time we've had a Nations Cup player all the way from Mexico. You'll remember Kurusha Bwalia in the closing stages of his career, featuring for Zambia when he was on the books of Club America. Now, held on. Top scorer for the Cape Verdeans in qualifiers. Advantage is given. And the cross in the end from Carlitos on this right-hand side, straight at the goalkeeper. Heldman saying, where's my free kick? The referee should point out to him that he did have a look and did play advantage. Khazri now. He's the danger man for Tunisia with his silky skills. Saeed. Spread it out wide. The fullback on the overlap is Ali Malou. And stop it up. Gets the header in to clear away. That was a very strong tackle on Heldon, but the referee did the right thing, played advantage, and they didn't use it. And now, finally, he goes back to Khazri and reminds him of the infringement and books him in the process. So the first caution of this game goes the way of the Bordeaux man. Former French junior international is Wahib Khazri, player full of skills, and I'm sure you'll agree with me that's deserved of the delivery of the caution. Chance here for Tunisia as the header comes in. Away or pushed away really by Vozinha, away from his goal as well, and Akaishi with the header. Just got himself back on sides. Vozinha under a little bit of pressure. Had to dive to his left. We had Nata steaming in, looking to pick up on the loose ball. Cape Verde with a tempting cross of their own. Now we got there ahead of Heldon. Yes, Khazri. He hit that against Nuno Rocha. And Gege will settle for the throw-in. There's another look at that opportunity and the save from Vozinha. Held on now, signed by Sporting Lisbon at the start of the season. It's been a little overshadowed by the Algerian Islam Slimani in the lineup for the Portuguese club. He's done well in this campaign on the trail of Benfica. Over-ambitious from Khazri from range, but Tunisia are a patient side, and they will look to create many more chances. Also prepared just to test the opposing defence and opposing goalkeeper from range in the early stages. Just 23 years old is Giannini, previously based in Portugal, now with Santos Laguna, the Mexican club he plays for. Nice first touch from him as well. The ball was out of play. Ali Malul will take the throw in. Mabanco with the interception. Kalu Lima, Fernando Varela, and now Gege from Maritimo on the island of Madeira. Good interception from Kuka. There's a shallow pass there from Sai, and Kuka continues. Back very quickly though, the Tunisians. Kalu Lima, Nuno Rocha, Babanco, Stopira, and now Varela. Being pushed back by the pressing game of Tunisia. Well, there's not too much pressing, but certainly bodies in the right place. And they can Cape Verde do all the work. Stopira. Now, can he get it across? Looking for Giannini. Abdenour with the clearance. Doesn't go very far. High up in the air, though. Now the effort to Trest Matlawi, and he turns it around the corner. Had the best of the chances so far, Cape Verde. This one just before the 20-minute mark. And a shot towards the near post. And Kuka finds the goalkeeper, making a fine save. Corner it'll be. Heldon plays it short. Kuka now towards the back post. This time Matlawi collects. Big frame of Carlitos coming up behind him. Well, it seems as if the home crowd here in the Bebein are enjoying it as well. The Equatorial Guinea locals. If you look on the map, this town is right in the top right-hand corner of the country. And in fact, it shares the border with both Gabon and Cameroon. You're literally just a kilometer away from either country. And I suppose if you were that way inclined, you could visit 3 countries in a single day before lunchtime. And, about an hour south is Mongomo, where there will be the opening matches in Group C tomorrow with Ghana and Senegal, and then Algeria and South Africa. That's the group that everyone's been talking about. That's the group that all the Fundis are looking forward to, and I'm sure the entire African continent and around the world will be riveted to their screens this time tomorrow when Algeria take on the South African side, who come into this tournament unbeaten in their last 12 matches. Carlitos with a header. Kuka. Now Giannini, back to Kuka again. Keeper's come out. Now he's decided to track back onto his line. Into the middle it goes in search of Heldon, and it's cleared away again. Siman Ben Youssef with the clearance. Giannini. Good attacking enterprise from Cape Verde. They might be the smallest country in this tournament, but they're certainly showing some big hearts here. Now by Babanko, telling him to just tone it down a little bit. Challenge on Khazri. Malul. Cape Verde ball. Carlitos gives possession away. This is Shikawi now. Khazri, the two key men in this Tunisian side combining. Shikawi again. Saeed. Chases on to keep this in play. And successfully done by Shikawi. Khazri again. Midway point of the first half of the second game in Group B. On the second day of this Orange Africa Cup of Nations, Equatorial Guinea 2015, and Sai with yet another effort from long range, and he'll be lucky to hit the corner flag. Just came off the side of the boot, skewed away. Born in Montpellier in France, still plays for his hometown club. She is in an effort to get down the byline, but just ran out of space. Stop it, I will take the throw in. Khazri. Too strong, that ball up front for Kaishi, but it certainly was testing for the goalkeeper. Keep his wits about him. Kuka now, he's looked lively. Eldon wants it through the middle. Malou had a quick look to see where the striker was and cleared away comfortably and competently. Sai now. Malul pushing forward. Tunisians and Cape Verde go on the immediate counter-attack with a long ball for Giannini. That's too long. Cape Verde, independent in the 1970s, but it took them a while to join the African footballing structures and indeed FIFA, and they didn't play regular international football until the year 2000, when they competed in the World Cup qualifiers for the very first time. The first World Cup that place that they were chasing was in 2002, the Cup in Asia in Japan and South Korea. So they had an intermittent international history for the first 15 years or so. But my word, they are now a formidable outfit. Trained in Portugal, as they always do. Had a friendly with Equatorial Guinea in Lisbon leading up to this competition. They went back to Cape Verde for a couple of ceremonies, a few training sessions, and to say goodbye to the home fans, and then were the first side who arrived in Equatorial Guinea for this competition. Tunisia won warm-up game themselves against Algeria, 1-1 draw at home. Malol. Again Malol, he's on, no, he's offside, flags up. They have a little ball in there from Sairo. The linesman from Rwanda. Did he get it right? Maybe not. Contentious calls yesterday, of course, in the opening game with Equatorial Guinea. We might well have had a 2-0 lead at one stage. Clearance away from Carlitos. Abdenour up with Giannini. Now Giannini again. And held on, who likes to hang out here on this right-hand side. Nuno Roca. Challenge and the foul given against the Tunisians. A little nervous twitch about the coach there. You can expect that, given what a big occasion it is for him personally. His wife is from the Cape Verde Islands, so he has a strong bond with the country, never mind the fact that they pay his salary as well. Foul against Heldon. A little shove into Malou, pushes him or pulls him off balance. Fairly balanced game so far, one would suggest. Just had one real chance for the Cape Verdeans early on, that header against the upright from Fernando Varela after just 2 minutes. Now Heldon gets away from Abdenour. This is a chance, 3 against 2. Threads it through, Giannini, saved by the keeper. Great chance for the Cape Verde, and it comes from a rare slip from Ayman Abdenour, normally the most reliable of defenders. He lost his footing there. Heldon was away. Keeper made a very good save from Giannini. Now stop it up. Kuka, under pressure from Hamza Matlawi. No relation to the goalkeeper. So we reached the half-hour mark here. Hours football left in this Nations Cup encounter. Haven't mentioned Group D yet, which gets underway in the capital, Malabo. on Tuesday. Cameroon and the Ivory Coast making their debuts, and by the end of Tuesday night we will have seen all of the teams in this competition in action, perhaps have a better idea of who's going to do well at this particular event in Equatorial Guinea, although history will suggest that oftentimes the first round of matches for both sides doesn't really paint the proper picture. Nigeria certainly on the competition 2 years ago looked fairly pedestrian in their opening game. They got better as the tournament progressed. He has a chance for Akashi. Out came Vozinha. Good work from the goalkeeper. Giannini now. Kalu Lima looking for Heldon. He looks at the linesman. He sees he's onside. The ball's far too long. So Tuesday night, the 20th of January, Guinea Ivory Coast will be the first game in Malabo, and then Cameroon Mali, which is always a game that pits two powerful sides. Seydou Keita, possibly in his last Nations Cup tournament, will be leading the line for Mali, although they were given a real pasting by South Africa in their last warm-up international. And Guinea, of course, lost 5-2 to Senegal in their last warm-up game in Casablanca as well, so two teams perhaps lacking in a bit of confidence. And I can add the Ivory Coast too, because you remember they lost at the end of last week to Sweden in Abu Dhabi in their last warm-up. So only Cameroon really coming into the Group D competition with any form. A couple of the Congolese fans still in the house tonight, celebrating a fine comeback by their team, a deserved 1-1 draw with Zambia in the opening game. Perhaps Congo deserved all 3 points. There's Khazri now. Sai. Khazri again. Taken away by Kalu Lima. Big man in the midfield is now 31. A late bloomer in international football. He's only been in the side for the last year. This proves that the old guys can still improve and develop and finally crack the international arena, as number 17 Kalu Lima proved. Looked to go down a little bit too easily there, Kuka, but gets the free kick. Plays for Estoril in Portugal's Premier Division. They've got two players in the side here tonight, Babanco, the captain as well, and of course also from Estoril is Javier Balboa from Equatorial Guinea, who played so well for his country in Bata last night. Some silky skills from him in the opening game against Congo. Held on. As I mentioned in the earlier broadcast, Cape Verde Islands will play the first two rounds for double-headers, both in the latter game, the nighttime game, which make life a little bit easier for themselves. Game, of course, tonight against Tunisia, and then their second clash in the group, which will come on Thursday here at Ebebien, when they take on the Democratic Republic of Congo. First two rounds of each group are double-header matches, but the third and final round of the group games are, of course, played simultaneously at the same time, so that there can be no advantage for any of the teams. Cape finish against Zambia here in the Ebebien, so they don't have to move, but the Tunisians will be up against the Congolese, and they'll have to go down the highway to Bata. Good collection from Vozinha. Now Giannini. Well, I think that was more of a cross than a shot, but it almost ended up into the back of the net. Skewed a little bit wide, but for a second or two it looked as if it had the beating of Matlawi. He looks up, Kuka is waiting, and the goalkeeper would have been a little with the fact that in the end curled away from the goal. Referee from Gabon, which of course is the neighbouring country here. They are one of the 4 candidates to host the next Nations Cup, and that decision will be made in April by the Confederation of African Football. Egypt, Algeria and Ghana are the other 3 countries who want to host the next Nations Cup. That's because Libya have withdrawn. 2019 is already going to Cameroon, which is also on the border here. Another cross in from Haldon. 2021 will be in the Ivory Coast, and if you're planning that far ahead, book your tickets now for 2023 in Guinea in West Africa. Again, on the edge of the area. What's the referee decided? Free kick. Abdelnour, unnecessary there with Babanko, somewhat frustrated. Tunisia moaning at the linesman, and the coach of the Cape Verde Islands come all the way across to protest that perhaps he should have had a penalty. Certainly the entire bench is up off and complaining. But the free kick on the edge of the box. And it looks as if the referee got it right. The initial challenge in there from number 12. There it is from Mod. That is really, really close. It could have gone either way. There's the challenge. And the referee from Gabon says outside the penalty area. I think the evidence there suggests he was right, and it's certainly a very tight and tough call. Temper's beginning to fray a little bit. This is a wonderful opportunity, though, for the Cape Verde Islands to open the scoring here. Eldon is around the free kick. Babanko is there as well. Kuka's gone into the wall, so is Giannini. And it looks as if Carlo Lima, with his big frame, is there too. Maybe he's going to have the shot. Maybe it's Babanko. My money would be on number 10, Haldon, to the left of the picture there. The wall in place. Great chance here. Babanko takes it into the wall. Kuka with the rebound is wide of goal. Great chance. The initial effort straight into the wall, but this man Kuka could well have broken the deadlock. Here's Babanko's effort. Didn't get the height that it was looking for. It went straight against Matlawi. And Kuka, well, he had very little time to react. Miscued it. Now I wonder here, Matlawi, well, his arms were tucked behind his back, so any claim for handball would perhaps have been a bit of a long shot. But that must be considered a let-off for Tunisia. Great opportunity on the edge of the area. It might have been a penalty on another night. There was a free kick. Babanko straight into the wall. Now a knock in the face of Gege. One of those who continues in this team from the last competition. Plenty of experience on their coaching bench with George Lakens, who, as a Belgian, of course, will be bilingual, not only proficient in his native tongue of Flemish, but also in French, which is the language that the Tunisians use along with Arabic. Kuka. Plays it out wide. Now Monsel. Shikawi. This is looking a little better from Tunisia. Shikawi looking for the return ball. Khazri does well. Knocked it out wide to Malul. Now Shikawi once more. Lovely little ball that came in from Malul, and Shikawi beats the ground in frustration, unable to get a touch onto it or hold it up for a teammate. With another challenge on Kuka that the referee does not like. This was that lovely little pass in from Malul, which Shikawi was unable to get onto the end of. So another chance at a bit more of a difficult angle here for the Cape Verde Islands. See their chances again. The wall being pulled back by referee Otogo. This time it's held on and Babanka around the ball. And held on to take it low and straight at Shikawi. Babanko back in there. So another free kick chance goes begging for Cape Verde Islands, and Tunisia heading towards half-time now, still with their goal intact. Banco intercepted by Matlawi. And he missed that. The dangerous held on was waiting behind him. Abdenour, formerly with Toulouse, now with Monaco. Not to talk about him going to the Premier League in the next season. Good pressure on Saï, but he gets himself out of trouble there. Free kick here for Tunisia. This was that earlier chance for Heldon, and I suppose that's in the end evidence that the referee got it right. Very, very tough call, and the correct one in the end. Well, we'll see now how much stoppage time is added on as we head towards half-time, and wonder if they're going to bother. We've hardly had any stoppages. 1 minute. There's the call from the fourth official. No way through again for Akaishi. Maybe now stop it up. Down the left-hand side can do something for the Cape Verde Islands. Support from Kuka, has the ball back again. This is Carlitos. Swap it up. Nuno Roca loses possession. Shikawi. Still Shikawi, strong on his feet. Little touch on from Giannini, held on. Given Abdenor a busy evening so far. Good pressure as well from Babanco, but that's ruled illegal by the referee. Natar will have the free kick. Half-time here at Estadio Ebebi in Tunisia and the Cape Verde Islands without a score so far in the second game in Group B. And the teams will head down the tunnel.
مرة أخرى إلى المباراة، عودة إلى الشوط الثاني. نتمنى أن الشوط الثاني يكون أفضل بكثير لتونس من الشوط الأول، ودائما نقول إن شاء الله مربوحة لتونس. عودة مرة أخرى إلى زميل رؤوف خليف.
Changes here, the Cape Verdean coach. Consultation with his technical side. They've looked the livelier of the two, it must be said. And Captain Babanco there with words of encouragement, geeing up the troops before we get this second half underway. So no changes in the offing straight away at the start of this half. Abdenor is a bit of a late arrival onto the pitch for the recommencement of this game, and so is goalkeeper Matraoui as well, who's been sent to his goal by referee Eric Otogo. So the second half underway. Cape Verde in the blue are defending the goal to the right-hand side. The team who booked a place in the quarter-final of the last competition. Up against the Tunisian side, of course, have been perennial qualifiers for this competition, winners back in 2004. And a nation with a very fine Nations Cup pedigree, 16 previous tournaments that they have competed in. On paper, it's a little bit of a David versus Goliath challenge, maybe not in terms of the territory of these two countries, but certainly in terms of their footballing heritage. But it's Cape Verde who perhaps could have been in the lead. A couple of free kick opportunities as well in that first half that they didn't utilise. Abdenor with the touch there means we have the corner. It'll be the fourth of the game for the Cape Verdeans, just one so far for Tunisia. Reading the riot act, the referee, as far as the pushing and shoving is concerned, and Kruger continues his little competition there with Matraoui away from Abdenor. Good strong header at that near post from the defender. Push in the back means a free kick against Khazri, the only player booked so far in this game. Foul was committed against Nuno Roca. Well, he's going to leave the free kick. And instead the skipper Babanco will take it. They've moved 5 players onto the edge of the penalty area, have Cape Verde Islands. And they've got some height in there as well. The big frame of Kalu Lima, but that's hit far too strongly by Babanco. Easy pickup for Matraoui. Player from Etoile Sahel in Sousse, a regular performer on the African stage. A couple of Champions League campaigns to his name, as well as 5 Nations Cup tournaments. Now Matraoui. Khazri, Natar involved there as Desai in the middle. Lovely first touch, very skillful player, but I don't think he'll be too pleased about the little chip in there, out wide. Looking for Shikawi. Carlitos to take it. Player these days in Cyprus, where you'll find many players who previously competed in the Portuguese league. He's a destination now for Lusophone players, not only from Portugal but from the Cape Verde Islands and from Brazil as well. In countries like Poland, Romania, Cyprus, and usually large amount of Portuguese-speaking players competing there, and a small contingent from the Cape Verde included amongst that. Hamza Mathlawi has the throw-in. Nata pushing forward. Shikawi will be the target man. Header away by Fernando Varela. The foul committed on Kuka by Sai. Kuka's a little bit of a surprise choice in the starting lineup, but the coach did create something of a shock by leaving out Zé Luís, the striker from Sporting Braga, in the squad. Zé Luís didn't play for the Cape Verde Islands at the last Nations Cup finals. He refused the call-up, but then he was rehabilitated back into the team in the qualifiers, got some vital goals along the way, and then all of a sudden it was dropped again. So Kuka joins Heldon as the lead striker for the Cape Verde Islands, with support of course from Giannini. Gege clears. Now maybe a chance on the turn. Shot was blocked by Gege. Akaishi was offside anyway. Carlitos on the right hand side, pushing forward. Enough down the flanks from the Cape Verde Island fullbacks. Tunisia do tend to probe a little bit. Giannini with an effort. Effort blocked. Now Shikawi sizes up his options. That familiar stop and turn of his. Kaishi's offside. Kazri's recognised that. He finds Monser instead, and Monser goes for goal. And Vozinha has a little bit of work to do. Lamanco. Carlo Lima, Angolan-based player. Kuka. Held on, looking to play the 1-2, didn't come off. Sai has it for Tunisia. Nice little ball for Kaishi to chase onto. Closely watched by Gege, some strong defending from the Cape Verde Islands. Clearance away from Carlitos. Abdunor. Now Malul. Sai. Another good pass. In again from Nata. That's not the best of clearances from Fernando Varela. We will have a corner for Tunisia. Their second of the game. Pressure now from the Tunisians. A little bit stop-starty from them in this game so far. Khazri, Abdunor with a header. And again, Vozinha holds firm. A little bump there from Shikawi as well. It was perhaps unnecessary. expect that the Zambians and the Congolese, or certainly their technical teams, have remained here to stay and watch. Not too much, we're not sure how much they're picking up about the potential and ability of both of these sides. A fairly cagey affair here tonight as Carlitos looks to feed, held on again, intercepted by Abdennour. Certainly that's the one advantage that the two teams who play in the earlier match on a doubleheader night like this have. Although they start in the heat of the day, they finish on the stands taking notes on their rivals. Now Nata on the chase, Monse rather, as the cross comes in, stretching out there but not being able to get onto the end of it. This is where Khazri's so dangerous, always probing. Another big divot in the pitch as well. Groundsman will have to do some hard work in the next couple of days to get this back into tip-top shape for the next round of matches. First round of group games will conclude on Tuesday with the Group D games in Malabo, and then we begin the cycle all over again. Bata, followed by Ebebein, Mongomo and Malabo, the four venues for this Orange Africa Cup of Nations 2015 here in Equatorial Guinea. Varela. Looking for some running up front. Now Heldon's gone on the chase. Cover defense provided by Siman Ben Yusuf. Saeed. Now, what can Tunisia turn on here? Monsef. The challenge is won by Giannini. It's Cape Verde, rather, who are looking to set up an opportunity. Held on. Chance at the back post for Kuka. Kuka cleared off the line. I thought he'd had one touch too many there, Kuka, and had squandered the opportunity, but he did get it in the end. Only to have Tunisia stop it with the goalkeeper beaten. So they've been saved by the woodwork. They've cleared one off the line. Tunisia hanging on at the moment to a point here. But how many times have we seen them on the back foot and then late in the game score and take all three? Excellently set up by Giannini. Kuka there, he just looked to have done too much. In the end, Ben Yusuf was the man who made the stop, and how well he was positioned here. There's the clearance. So no goal for the Cape Verde. Siman Ben Yusuf is the hero of the moment for Tunisia. We might have another hero here with his free kick. Khazri standing by. Just past 10 minutes in the second half. A little bit of lively action to perhaps set the tone for the rest of the game. Cape Verde of everyone back in that penalty area defending this. So here he is, Khazri bends it, and it over the top of Vozinha's goal. Disappointing from him, but not the first time we've seen that from him, particularly in qualifying. So here's Kuka again with the opportunity, and there is Ben Yusuf clearing it away. Abdunur. Ben Yusuf plays his club football in Romania. Unusual destination for a North African footballer. Stop it up. Out wide from Varela. Gege in possession for the Cape Verde Islands. Varela, of course, not to be confused with Tony Varela, who was also in the squad at the last tournament. He comes from Holland, where there's also a fairly sizable Cape Verdean community. Of players that they've been chasing there who've decided rather to stay in the Dutch system and look to play for the Dutch national team rather than for the Cape Verde. But you never know, in the next couple of years, one or two of them change their mind. There'll be an even stronger force potentially, Cape Verde, being able to pick up players from the immigrant communities across Europe. Claims for a handball against Kuka. No one's interested, certainly amongst the officials. Now Khazri. Back in from Sai. Blocked though. Khazri again with a late challenge, and the referee's now having a final word with him. Remember, booked already in this game. He can ill afford another one of those. Another yellow. Will find himself in for an early shower. Varela once more. Abdunur. Good turn there from Nata, showing some quick skill with the feet. Monser back to Maklawi. Now Nata again. Lots of ball-playing midfielders for Tunisia, but not too much in the creativity department at the moment, and still pushing it out wide, looking to find an opening. There's Natar again. Now Maklawi will push a little further forward. Maybe a bit of space here for Monser. He turns it. There's a good run out wide from Malul. But in the end, there were a lot of passes in there from Tunisia. Left and right, looking to probe, and the ball over the top, asking too much of the fullback. Cape Verde would have had a good 2 minutes rest or so, just watching that all play out. Vozinha. Looking for Giannini. It's been a handful tonight for Abdunur. Hasn't looked as calmly confident and competent as we know him to be. Well, we're heading for just past 9:15 local time here in Ebebiyin. I can tell you it's still steaming hot. Probably around about 25 degrees now. Won by Monsef, and Monsef will take it as well, and Ben Yusuf now is making his way up. The big defender, and Shikawi gets the header in. Ben Yusuf as well, and they've got the goal. No, referee says a shove in there. And that will not count. I think a little bit of a lucky let-off for the Cape Verde Islands and for Vozinha in particular. Shikawi with the initial header that the goalkeeper really should have collected. And although he's playing the victim there, where was he here as Shikawi came out? He was nowhere to be seen. Vozinha here. Well, you wonder what the infringement was. Ben Yusuf was in there. There's nothing there. A little bit of a let-off, I fancy, for the Cape Verde. Keeper stranded. Shikawi against the upright. Ben Yusuf goes in for the challenge and is allegedly fouling on the way. Almost looked to have been a little bit of an own goal as well, the botched clearance. Doesn't still goalless. And maybe that will galvanize the Tunisians a little bit. Khazri, two waiting in the middle. Much better movement now from Tunisia. Maklawi, straight at the defense though. Wins the free kick. Babanko was late with the challenge. It's taken quickly as well. Shikawi, still Shikawi. Weaving his way through with that lanky frame of his, and he's won the corner. He was looking for a chance here to pull the trigger. Found himself forced a little wide. The last touch came off Gege. This was that earlier corner and the headed opportunity. Up went Ben Yusuf. He hardly got a touch in there, and I think in the end it came off Carlitos and they got away with it, the Cape Verde Islands. Free kick against Giannini now. So Tunisia are beginning to turn the pressure on a little bit. The referee with a little bit of a dramatic bent about him, always entertaining to watch. His signals have a flamboyant touch about them. He's got out the magic spray as well, with a little circle around the ball. So Khazri, who's had one chance already from similar range, might fancy another. Never shy to have a go from distance. So the whistle sounded. Khazri this time chips it in, back up the Noor. Straight into the arms of Vozinha. He came around undetected, did Ayman Abdenoor. Now Kuka. Away goes Stop It Up. Left-footed cross, looking for Giannini. Cut out by Malul. Not convincingly cleared. Babanko has possession. Babanko's going to swing it in. Too close to Maklawi. Khazri. Saeed. Still we await the first change in this game. The coaches still keeping their cards close to their chests. Oh, I spoke too early. Here is the first one for the Cape Verde Islands, who are going to be taking off Giannini and replacing him up front with Julio Tavares, who plays for Dijon, club near the top of the second division in France. Running socks off tonight, Giannini. Lots of hard work. done his part. So Julio Tavares on as the first change. Matlawi. Again. This might be a chance here. Khazri into the middle. Away from Varela. For once, he went for the pass rather than the attempted shot when, on that occasion, you wonder why he didn't have an effort from that angle. Here he is again. Monser and Nater together. Now Matlawi. Kuka's defending. He's won it back here for the Cape Verde. Babanko. Straight to Abdennour. Tunisia looking a lot better here in the second half now. They're always going to be tight in defence coming into this game, but they look to be a bit more enterprising in attack. Chance goal! Put in the back of the net by Monser, the new man. Missed out on the qualifiers. Has his first international goal. And it looked to be coming, it must be said. Mozinha beaten after 70 minutes. Monser celebrates the first goal for his country, both for him and tonight. Expertly set up by Tunisia. A couple of swift passes. Malul with a square ball. It was Sai with that original one. He's got great vision, the Montpellier man. And they've got the breakthrough. Well, it's been a patient performance. We said as much at the beginning of this broadcast that Tunisia take their time. They're not in a hurry. Sometimes on the back foot, weather the storm a little, show their defensive prowess first, and then once they've got all of that in place, begin a little bit of the attack. And it's taken them 70 minutes, but Mohamed Ali Monser has the opening goal. And we now have the possibility of a leader in the group after a draw in the first game between Zambia and the Democratic Republic of Congo. And if you consider Tunisia only conceded goals in 6 qualifying matches coming into this competition, it's going to take a big effort from Cape Verde. He has a chance for them though, it's blocked by Abdennour. Stand by now for 20 minutes of solid defending from this Tunisian team. And they'll take their time as well. There'll be lots of niggling little injuries, time wasting, spoiling. They're the masters of eating away at the time and winding down the clock. And it begins now as they have this lead. Now Ryan Mendes getting ready to come on. He's got to take some of the jewelry off first. This is that free kick that Matlawi punched away. Didn't fall in the end for Gege. Classic little move from Tunisia though, it must be said. And it's forced the first change. The exciting striker from Lille in France. Not having the best of seasons the club nor the player, but they will throw Ryan Mendes on now and see what he can do. In the meantime, Ayman Matlawi is slowly wasting away a little bit of time here. No surprise, he's okay and ready to continue. This is how he was injured, allegedly. Just a little touch there in the ribs from a stray elbow, but enough to buy himself a good 2 minutes on the clock. sporting nature of the game, but such an effective part of the goalkeeping armory when needed. And Tunisia always use it to good effect. Abdenour has a bit of a go at Helden. He felt was looking for a free kick there with gamesmanship. Certainly a strong point in Tunisia, and Cape Verde perhaps with a display of it too. Now Julio Tavares gets into the game for the first time. Ryan Mendes will come on, second change now for Cape Verde, and Carlitos will come off. So they're sacrificing a fullback and sticking on a wide player, going into attack mode. Concerned looking coach who will see at the other end another effort floated into the penalty area and connected fairly comfortably by Ayman Matlawi. Shikawi. The goal scorer, Monser. From Sfaxien. Side who really should have won the Champions League last year in Africa, but let it slip in the semi-finals when they looked in the group phase to certainly be the most competent of the teams competing. And regarded as a little bit of a wasted opportunity. Offside. So it's up to the Cape Verde now with 15 minutes left. Have they got anything left in the tank is the big question. And how well have they prepared, and how physically fit are they to deal with these hot conditions in Equatorial Guinea? Varela. Bit of pace there from Haldon. Was he brought down in the area? He was, says the referee. Penalty for the Cape Verde Islands. He's got such pace, this man from Sporting Lisbon. And in the end, the Tunisians will have to admit that they were just done for pace there. There'll be a couple who will have a word with the referee, but there's none of the vehement protesting that we've seen in the past from Tunisia. They know Helden got them for pace. He's won an all-important penalty, and he steps up himself to look to try and convert. He scored 11 times for his country coming into this game. A couple of vital goals in the qualifiers as well. Held on against Ayman Matlawi. Cape Verde Islands equalize. And what a penalty too. Top corner. 1-1. Back level pegging. That lead for Tunisia lasted all of 7 minutes. And now he's enjoying this. Now, have a look at this. The pace against Ben Youssef. He knew he brought him down inside the area. He really just got done by the pure speed of the man. There's the challenge. Just that split second too late. And no hesitation in the mind of the referee. This will give us a good view. Just there, the touch. And he catches him. A little unlucky for Ben Yusuf, but when you're up against the pace of a player like Heldon, disappointment for Matlaoui. He chose the right way, but the power and the height too of the penalty gave him absolutely no chance. So could it be that come the end of the second day at the African Nations Cup, we find ourselves level pegging? There is just a little recognition. I think initially the coach probably thought it was being banged wide by Heldon, but he should have had a bit more faith. That was a superb penalty taken by Cape Verde Island's lead striker. Interesting now that Cape Verde Island sacrificing a fullback to bring on Ryan Mendes, try and conjure up an equaliser, have that equaliser. Now perhaps a little short on defenders. Mabanko's pushed back into defence. Varela looks to come across into the fullback slot. Kuka wins the free kick. Again another display of pace. Kuka once more. Khazri for Tunisia. Good overlapping run again from Malul. You wonder where he finds the energy this late in the game. Final 10 minutes are almost upon us. Shikawi's got the free kick here against Babanko. That might be a little generous. Good opportunity though for Tunisia. The players do look a bit spent now. It's been a tough evening. There wasn't too much emotion shown by the coach, but I'm sure he's mightily pleased that they've worked their way back. It'll be a big morale booster as well for Cape Verde. Just the third goal conceded in the Nations Cup overall, the qualifiers and the finals in almost seven games for Tunisia. Albeit from the penalty spot. So free kick. In from Monse, great save! Abdenur was offside though, but Vozinha made a superb stop. He was offside, just marginally there. Great call from the linesman. Well, the refereeing tonight has been proven to be correct on many potentially controversial occasions, this one included, by the video replays. There's contact between Ben Yusuf and Heldon inside the penalty area. That was not the case when the Tunisians were looking for the penalty a little earlier on. Tunisia have made their first change, bringing on Yusuf Msnakni, a man of great skill, and for Khazri, who's the same kind of player. Plays out wide, full of trickery as well. And Edem Rajabi comes on for Akashi. It's a debut for the man from CA Bizet, who is a late call-up to the squad. So a double change from George Leskins in his final 7 minutes or so. That's more, I think, because of tired bodies than anything else. Ryan Mendes trying to thread it through there for Kuka. The free kick goes for Tunisia. So Khazri off, and Ahmed Akaichi, who really had very little impact save for the opening 10 minutes or so. Zoe. quickly since he's come on. And the decision against the Cape Verde, though. Last change now for the men in blue. Kuka will come off. And his replacement for these final minutes will be in the form of Fortes. Goal scorer held on. Fortes, by the way, based in France with Stade Rennes, who are also in Ligue 1. He's a quality player from a good league. Snackney now. Formerly played with Esperance, of course, and now in Qatar. Shikawi chasing there. Held on. Now Varela pushing forward, the big centre-back. Held on again, too strong for Ryan Mendes, who wants it to feet. They got a brand new front line there, the Cape Verde, with Julio Tavares as the target man, Mendes on the right and Fortes on the left now. Shikawi. Running there for Matlawi. Stands his ground despite the presence of Tavares. Then Yusuf. Saeed. His pass that set up the goal. Another one from him, this time from Snackney. Looking for Rajavi. Mendes gets away. Now Tavares. Tavares crosses. 4 minutes left on the clock at Estadio Bebein. Tomorrow, of course, Mongomo will host Group C matches. Look forward to your company there with Ghana and Senegal to set the tone, we hope, for a night of fascinating football with Algeria and South Africa to follow. Tunisia will make their final change now. Coming off, if they can find him, will be Saeed. And his replacement is Ragued, the very experienced French-born player, but now competing at club level as well as internationally for the Tunisians. And Ragued is more of a defensive midfielder in comparison to Saeed. So he'll slot in alongside Nater, and maybe now the idea is to settle for the point. Come back and try it all over again. This is good news, by the way, for Zambia and for the Democratic Republic of Congo. It'll be level pegging for all of these sides with 2 games to come, and really no one gaining any advantage after the first day's play. But let me not speak too soon. 2.5 minutes remain. Next outing for these countries. Tunisia plays Zambia. The opening game on what will be Thursday, 22nd of January. And then the Cape Verde against Congo in the 2nd. So 1 point apiece in the offing for all involved in Group B, unless we can conjure up something here in these closing stages. Away to Shikawi, who gets the free kick. Bundled in the back by his opposite number, the captain Babanko. Turns again to Shikawi. Finds him Snekny. Little ball over the top. Malul's come from behind the defense, looking to get it square. Good work from Fortes with those fresh legs of his, having just come on. Comes to the rescue for the Cape Verde Islands. Final minute. We'll see how much time is added on by the referee from Gabon. Nater. Well over the top. Now Vozinha goes down. Maybe a little bit of cramp, maybe a little bit of time wasting. Have both sides settled for the points. 3 minutes of additional time is to be added on. So would Cape Verde Islands consider this a success tonight, getting a point off highly fancied Tunisia, or something of a disappointment? And I suppose the same question could be asked of the North Africans as well. Certainly an opportunity to take an advantage into the next phase for one of these two teams. Had someone won and collected all 3 points after Zambia and the Democratic Republic of Congo drew. Two minutes remain. Tunisia are on the attack. Maklawi looking to get rid of grip on his hands there. Long throw in. A strong header as well, but off target. And a chance for Vozinha to perhaps launch a final opportunity for the Cape Verde, and he looks interested all of a sudden. So here we go, the long ball forward, looking with Tavares, big number 19. Can he get the flick on? It's Ben Yusuf who wins it in the air. Now it's Rajabi giving chase, Gege. Should keep his wits about him. Vozinha still wants the victory. Another long ball again for Tavares, this time the flick on. Only as far as Maklawi. Out of play from Shikawi. They are tired, these players. You would think that with under a minute left to go, they're going to try and give it their all in these closing stages, but they have spent a lot of energy out there already. Those tanks have run dry. Here's Kalu Lima. Good interception. And Snekny now. Look at Malul. He's been a bunch all game long. Rajabi with Snekny. Down he goes, wins the free kick. Varela gives it away. Just seconds remaining here. Too much in the way of a touch, but Snekny will be pleased that he's won the free kick nevertheless. Tumbling down somewhat spectacularly, and the referee awarding the opportunity here. This is surely now the final chance. going to take this. Snekny leading it. It's Najabi, something they worked on in the training ground, but it didn't work out, and that's the final touch of the game as well. So 1-1 it's ended here at Ebebiyin. Group B's opening night has concluded with no real clarity on who is going to make any progress through into the next round of the competition. All 4 teams after tonight will have a single point to their name. It was Tunisia who took the lead. Here's a quick look at this last gasp effort from the Tunisians. They did take the lead through Monsef after 70 minutes, but it was the Cape Verde